One of Game of Thrones' biggest mysteries involves both international man of mystery Howland Reed and Addam of Hull from House of the Dragon, and it involves this teeny tiny little island in the middle of the God's Eye Lake known as the Isle of Faces. Well, it's one of the biggest mysteries. There are others. But what is the Isle of Faces? Why is it special? Why is it weird? And why are these two characters the only known people to have ever gone there and left? Well, as mentioned earlier, the Isle of Faces is located in the middle of the God's Eye Lake. The God's Eye Lake is this huge lake. I believe it's the biggest lake in Westeros, and there's just this island in the middle of it. This lake is in the Riverlands, and Harrenhal is built, you can see right here, on the banks of the God's Eye, so it is right by there. And the Isle of Faces is important and famous for a few reasons, because it's been the location of several big events. So back when the First Men and the Children of the Forest were first having their big war, the knockdown, drag out, it was said that it was on the Isle of Faces that the Children of the Forest gathered and brought down the Water of the Hammers, this big giant act of magic, which broke the arm of Dorne. So Dorne used to have an arm connecting it to Essos, and it was through their magic that they broke it. They caused just a giant, I don't know, tsunami, whatever, the land all cracked. It did a whole thing, seemingly to cut off the land bridge to stop the flow of humans coming into Westeros. And so it's theorized the Isle of Faces is supercharged with magic because it is the site of a giant magical event. And boy, does it look magical. As you can see from the illustration down here, the Isle of Faces is known for being basically the last huge grove of weirwood trees in the south, because most of them have since been cut down, except for ones that exist in some of the gods' woods and different castles around the south. But in general, the only place where there is a huge concentration of them is the Isle of Faces. This whole island is filled with weirwood trees, all of them with the faces carved into them. Now, beyond being the site of the Children of the Forest pulling out the magical big guns, it is also the site of the Pact. The Pact is what brought an end to that initial war between the Children of the Forest and the First Men, and they decided, hey, what if we didn't try to off each other anymore? Wouldn't that be nice? But they did it on the Isle of Faces. That is the location where both of the two opposing sides met. They struck their bargain, said, okay, we will divide the lands this way. We the humans promised to stop cutting down the weirwood trees, and this is the location in which we are sealing the deal and all that. And part of the Pact established a new order called the Order of the Green Men. The Order of the Green Men is pretty interesting because there is not a lot known about them. Some people think that this group was established by the Children of the Forest and the First Men in blood, and so they're a weird hybrid thing. They have green skin and they have horns growing out of their heads. Others think that they're just humans who dress in all green and wear horns on helmets or whatever. But something interesting is in House of the Dragon, this is the first time that we saw them in live action. In the scene where Daemon has the crazy trip where he sees Daenerys and all the crazy shit after he touches the weirwood tree, right before you see a green man, I don't know how to call him, just appear. You could see that he has horns. You can't really tell the color, but he's just by the tree, and then he skedaddles away right before Daemon goes and starts tripping. Anyway, so to this day, supposedly the Order of the Green Men are the only ones who live on the Isle of Faces. Now, the reason I say supposedly is because humans in the modern day don't actually know for certain, because no one is able to travel there. This isn't to say that people don't try. The histories record many a young river lord trying to sail to the Isle of Faces, only to be turned away by natural or possibly unnatural forces. So whenever they try to take the boat, suddenly the winds will go crazy and refuse to let them go any further. It'll push them away. Or sometimes a flock of ravens will just burst from those weirwoods and drive the boat away. Either way, no human is getting here, and so we don't even technically know if there are still green men, except for the fact that we saw one in House of the Dragon. Anyone who remembers the beginning of the video, though, will remember that I teased that these two visited, and that's important because they are the only two humans known to have visited there and then come back. Even so, though, we don't have a lot of information. So the first person that we know to have visited is Addam of Hull. So Addam of Hull, during the Dance of the Dragons, basically went there to consult with the Green Men for advice. It's like literally all we know. That's all it says. He landed on the Isle of Faces to converse with the Green Men, and somehow was able to do it, presumably because he had a dragon, and then he flew away and then, kept participating in the war like the good guy that he is. Also, so pretty. You are so handsome, sir. And of course, the other person that we've known to have traveled to the Isle of Faces is Howland Reed. Howland Reed, international man of mystery. The man who, if he would just show up once in this book series, all the mysteries would be solved because he has all the answers, because he's seen the shit. But he hides in his goddamn swamp. But before he was hiding in a swamp, and before he got to witness all of the events of Robert's rebellion that we don't have answers about, he went to the Isle of Faces for some reason. How? Don't know. We just know that he traveled there, that he possibly lived there for, I don't know, I think maybe a year or something? Unclear. He was there for a minute, but the fact that he was even able to do that, and then not only do that, but then stay there for a while, and then presumably hang with the Green Men, learn stuff, talk about stuff, we don't know, because it's from there, it's after he leaves there that he then, he's right by Harrenhal. He travels to Harrenhal, where they're having the tourney of Harrenhal, where all the shit goes down. Rhaegar meets Lyanna. There's the whole kerfuffle with Rhaegar crowning Lyanna the Queen of Love and Beauty, everyone getting upset, and those events eventually leading to the rebellion. So while we don't know much, we do know that the Isle of Faces is there. It's important-ish, weird. We don't know what's going on, and boy, I want answers one day. Okay, good night, y'all.